Hey folks, this is the first video in a new series of videos looking at small kind of bite-sized ways to help you quickly improve your lead and rhythm guitar. If that's something you're interested in, I have a group on Facebook called From the Bedroom to the Blues Jam, all about helping blues guitar players who are working together to improve and really keep this kind of music alive and enjoy it and discover it, so on. There'll be a link in the box below for that. Today, what we're going to look at is an exercise to help make your soloing a bit more musical. I find a complaint students often have is that the scale sounds, they learn a scale to jam over a chord progression, but it kind of sounds too much like the scale. That's one problem. Another problem I find is students that, get a few licks under their belt, kind of rapidly fire through the licks that they know, but it does not sounding too musical. I'll give you an example. So I've got a progression here in my looper. I'm just going to fire this on. And this is the sort of thing a student might do. It's a bit of an exaggeration. You get the idea. It's kind of quickly firing into kind of bits and bobs that they've learned. But it doesn't always sound very musical, and they can be a bit frustrated sometimes with that. So what we're doing is I'm looping a simple progression in the key of C minor. It's a C minor 7 chord to an F minor 7 and a G minor 7. 3-note progression. And I'll put a link with a PDF to that progression and the scales that I'm using in the box below too. So this exercise, to help with phrasing, we're going to put a 5-note cap on anything that we play. So we can either play 1 note, 2 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes, and 5 notes for each phrase. And then we've got to start another phrase. So I'm going to use a couple of scales here. I'm using the minor pentatonic scale and the extended version of that, and the natural minor. And as I say, it links to the PDF below. So let's put on the backing track and look at how we can improve our phrasing with this exercise. So 1 note, let's just take the root. Starting with that, just let it sing, let it sit there. Slide into it. Put a bit of vibrato on it. Listen to the space that's left. To me, that's a great start. It's musical. 2-note phrase. We'll use the minor third and give it a little bend onto the root. Just 2 notes. And then we can go back to our root sliding. A 3-note phrase with a bend. Back to 2 notes. 1 note. The 3-note phrase again. Now I'm going to use the natural minor scale for a 4-note. Back to the 2 notes. Back to the root. 4 notes. I'm going to take that idea, develop it. Just 4 notes. So I've taken the 4-note exercise and just kind of gone down the scale with it. 5 notes. Typical blues lick. 4 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes. So I hope that gives you an idea. I want this to be a short video, so I'm going to kind of leave that there. One thing that I would say is we talk about, do we want to think when we're soloing? And I think most people say, no, I don't want to think. And you even hear people saying things, when I'm soloing, I'm thinking about, the shopping list that I've got tomorrow sort of thing. That's where I would disagree. I would say, yes, we don't want to think. I don't want to be thinking, right, I'm playing this note, what note next? Will I use the natural minor scale? I don't want to be thinking like that. But neither do I want to be kind of zoning out and thinking about other things. I want to be present, I want to be aware, I want to be in the moment, and I want to be connected to what I'm doing. So that's not thinking, but it's not, thinking about other stuff. It's being really connected, being very present, being aware. And I think this exercise really helps with that, because while you don't have to think about two notes, you've got to be aware of what you're doing. You've got to be listening. You've got to be active. So it's not a kind of passive thing, improvising for me. So I hope that is useful to you. I hope that helps. I'd love to hear any feedback for anybody that's tried this exercise. Any exercise, you've got to stick with it for a while. Stick with it for at least a couple of weeks to see the benefit. To see more benefit, record yourself too, and listen back. You're going to learn so much from that. Anyway, hope that's helpful, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.